The summer sun beats down mercilessly on the dusty path leading to Izu province. The year is 1261, and a lone priest trudges forward, his feet blistered and raw. Guards flank him closely, their faces stern and unforgiving. This man is being sent into exile, banished from his home for teaching what he believes to be the ultimate truth: that the Lotus Sutra contains the highest teaching of Buddhism, and that all people, regardless of their status or education, can attain enlightenment. Yet even as he walks this difficult path, his spirit remains unbroken. Like the summer sun that grows only stronger as it climbs higher in the sky, his faith burns ever brighter in the face of persecution. The greater the hardships befalling one who propagates the Lotus Sutra, the greater the joy one feels, because of the conviction that Buddhahood is close at hand, he would later write to his followers. This scene, drawn from the life of a devoted practitioner, illustrates a profound truth about Buddhist practice. Genuine faith often faces its greatest tests through persecution and hardship. Just as gold must be heated in fire to remove its impurities, a person's belief in the Lotus Sutra grows stronger and purer through facing opposition. It is like the case of a person who climbs a high mountain, teaches the Lotus Sutra. The higher he climbs, the farther he can see. Similarly, each challenge overcome becomes a vantage point from which to view life's deeper meanings with greater clarity. The summer sun imagery is particularly fitting. Just as the sun reaches its zenith at midday, displaying its full radiance despite any clouds that may try to obscure it, so too does strong faith shine most brilliantly when tested. Consider the words of Shakyamuni Buddha in chapter 20 of the Lotus Sutra. If there are those who embrace, read, recite, expound and copy the Lotus Sutra, know that such persons have already approached the place of enlightenment. This passage reveals that the very act of maintaining faith in the sutra's teachings, especially during difficulties, is itself a form of Buddhist practice that leads to enlightenment. But what does it mean to be a votary, a devoted practitioner, of the Lotus Sutra? It means more than simply reading or reciting its words. A true votary embodies its teachings in daily life, especially during times of challenge. When faced with criticism, they respond with patience. When confronted with hatred, they answer with compassion. When threatened with violence, they maintain their dignity and principles. The great Tian Te teacher of China explained this concept through the principle of 3,000 realms in a single moment of life. This teaching shows how each instant contains infinite possibilities for both suffering and enlightenment. The choice of how to respond to persecution, with anger or with wisdom, with fear or with courage, shapes not only our own lives but ripples out to affect all beings. Think of a pond on a hot summer day. When a stone is thrown into its waters, ripples spread outward in ever-widening circles. Similarly, when we face persecution with dignity and unshakable faith, our example creates ripples that touch countless others. This is why the Lotus Sutra emphasizes that its true practitioners will inevitably face opposition. Such challenges aren't just personal trials, they're opportunities to demonstrate the transformative power of Buddhist practice. "Let the winds of adversity rage, let the fires of persecution sweep about me," wrote one practitioner in ancient times. Like the lotus blooming in muddy water, my faith will only grow more beautiful and pure. This sentiment captures the essence of what it means to be a votary of the Lotus Sutra. The lotus flower, which rises unstained from muddy waters to bloom brilliantly in the summer sun, serves as a perfect metaphor for the way faith can flourish amid difficulty. But what exactly are these persecutions that a votary might face? They come in many forms. Sometimes they're obvious, physical threats, imprisonment, or exile. Other times they're subtle, social ostracism, professional discrimination, or family pressure to abandon one's beliefs. The ancient texts speak of 3 powerful enemies who oppose the Lotus Sutra: arrogant priests, ignorant lay people, and deluded rulers. These categories represent different forms of opposition that arise from ignorance, fear, and attachment to old ways of thinking. Yet each form of persecution, properly understood, becomes fuel for spiritual growth. As one Buddhist master explained, the deeper the roots, the sweeter the fruit. Just as a tree's roots grow stronger when buffeted by strong winds, faith deepens when challenged. This is why the Lotus Sutra specifically promises protection to those who maintain their practice despite opposition. The summer sun imagery takes on even deeper meaning when we consider the Buddhist concept of lessening karmic retribution. This teaching explains that by facing persecution with courage and dignity, we can transform heavy karma into lighter consequences, just as the summer sun can burn away morning mist. What might have manifested as major obstacles in life becomes minor inconveniences when met with strong faith. Regard both suffering and joy as facts of life, advises one passage in the Buddhist canon, and continue chanting Nam Myoho Renge Kyo, no matter what happens. This practice, chanting the title of the Lotus Sutra with faith, becomes like the summer sun itself, steadily burning away clouds of doubt and illuminating the path forward. The imagery of the summer sun carries another important lesson. Just as the sun doesn't discriminate in sharing its light and warmth, a votary's perseverance through difficulties benefits not only themselves but all living beings. Their example shows others that it's possible to maintain dignity and purpose even in life's darkest moments. This is why the Lotus Sutra emphasizes the importance of maintaining faith, for the sake of all living beings. Consider the case of a young practitioner in feudal Japan who lost his position and livelihood for refusing to abandon his faith. Rather than becoming bitter, he wrote, "Thank you for testing my faith. Like a sword tempered and retempered, it grows stronger with each blow." His persecution became an opportunity to demonstrate the power of unwavering belief, inspiring countless others through the centuries. The summer sun also teaches us about consistency. It doesn't shine brightly one day and dimly the next, it maintains its brilliance regardless of external conditions. Similarly, a votary's faith shouldn't waver based on circumstances. Practice as you preach, the ancient texts advise. This means maintaining steady faith and dignified behavior whether facing praise or blame, success or failure. But perhaps the most profound lesson comes from understanding why persecution arises in the first place. The Lotus Sutra teaches that opposition often comes precisely because its message is so revolutionary. It declares that all people, regardless of their current circumstances, possess the potential for Buddhahood. This was a radical teaching in ancient times, and in many ways remains so today. When we deeply consider this point, we can actually feel grateful for persecution, seeing it as proof that we're practicing correctly. As one passage states, if you propagate this sutra, you should expect to meet with great persecution. But do not allow yourself to be discouraged. Each challenge becomes confirmation that we're following the correct path. The analogy of the summer sun takes on yet another dimension when we consider the concept of casting off the transient and revealing the true. Just as the sun's true power becomes evident as it burns away morning mist, our essential Buddhahood reveals itself as we persevere through difficulties. Each persecution overcome becomes like another cloud dispersed, allowing our innate wisdom and compassion to shine more brightly. This doesn't mean that persecution is easy to endure. The texts acknowledge that maintaining faith during difficulties requires courage and wisdom. But they also promise that such efforts never go unrewarded. If you can endure these things, one passage declares, the pure lotus flower of the Buddha way will surely bloom. As we conclude our exploration of this topic, let's return to the image of that summer sun, climbing steadily higher in the sky despite any clouds that may arise. Like the sun, a votary's faith continues to grow stronger regardless of opposition. Each persecution endured becomes another step upward, leading to greater heights of understanding and conviction. The final message is one of hope and encouragement. Just as surely as the summer sun reaches its peak, sincere faith will triumph over any persecution. Our challenges become our credentials, our obstacles become our opportunities, and our perseverance becomes proof of the Lotus Sutra's power to transform poison into medicine. The summer sun doesn't fight with the clouds, it simply continues to shine until they disperse. Similarly, a votary's ultimate victory comes not through confrontation but through maintaining steady faith that, like the brilliant summer sun, cannot be long obscured by any earthly obstacle.